All right, what's good, everybody? There was a game that was just played literally today, a couple hours ago, and I felt like we should do some film recaps because a lot of people they see the game and they don't really know what's going on. They see, what you see on the screen, Baylor Shireman and guarding Jalen Brunson, and him start trying to. They just see a ball and two men trying to guard each other, but they don't know the ins and outs of what's going on. They just see a guy who's just trying to stop another guy from scoring a basket. But basketball is more than that. And that's why people say the old game is better or what have not. The way people think is because they don't really understand what they're watching, right? They don't know what a peel switch is. They don't know what a drop coverage is. They don't, you know what I'm saying? They don't know they don't know what that is. So me and Glore are here to explain it all on this channel. It's not just a podcast channel. We got a whole bunch of stuff coming. We got a special treat for y'all on Monday as well. Stay tuned for that. A big content creator is coming over to our platform and talking some ball with us. But we'll talk about that more later. But right now, we got to talk about the task at hand. Today, Glore's team lost today. They lost. You wanna
Hey man.
you wanna speak on what you've seen from
Hey man.
this game?
No Jalen Brown. Listen, before we get it started, no Jalen Brown, by the way. You feel me?
Okay.
He was letting JT rock because this is his first time playing at MSG since the injury happened. So you know what I mean. So this was our chance to just letting him be out there and be like, I could just beat you by myself today. But we're gonna get into it. I think JT played okay. The shooting was nasty, but
Hmm.
let's dive into it. But we're gonna start with Jalen Brunson. For me, I think that this we have amazing
17-11,
personnel
Celtics in
for
front, four and a
Jalen
half to
Brunson. I
go
think
in the
that
first.
the most important thing right now was stopping the pick and roll. Karl Anthony Towns and Jalen Brunson have low-key figured out the pick and roll this season, and they exploited it
Brunson trying
in
to get it
plenty of
going.
games this season.
Turns back.
But we've done a good job of contesting while also staying home,
17-11,
providing
Celtics in front,
versatility in the
four and a half
PNR,
to go in the
not
first.
only at the POA being able to have not only our bigs be able to play drop coverage, but also come up on ball screens and really make it tough for the ball handler. We did it to LaMelo Ball, and we showed them the same thing this game. But I think that especially late in the fourth quarter, especially in the fourth quarter, I think that the Knicks were able. That was their bread and butter. That Karl Anthony Towns and Jalen Brunson PNR killed us tonight. But there's no doubt in my mind we can adjust to this. This is Fugazi, no Jalen Brown. You feel me? You
Okay.
know,
I hear what you're saying, right? And you're right. In the fourth quarter, that was pretty much their bread and butter, aka going to the fourth quarter. We'll get to it soon when we're running through Jalen Brunson's film. But they had that little pop pass to Carney Towns for a big three to kind of seal the deal, maybe, and some momentum going forward in that game. But
17-11, Celtics in front, four and a half to go in the first.
I mean, kind of a brush screen, and he was killing Baylor Shireman all night. Got Jordan Washington foul trouble early, so you have to take him out of the game or kind of remove him off of Jalen Brunson. You don't have a Jalen Brown, right? And I don't know what the game plan here was, kind of putting Derek White off the ball. But Baylor Shireman and Jordan Walsh was pretty much the point of attacks on Jalen Brunson, and this is what Jalen Brunson does, right? And he reads the pick and roll very well. He's super patient. And
to go in the first,
right? His feet are not planted correctly. If anybody knows basketball, you know to attack that top side foot or attack that outside foot. So the leverage is completely gone, right? He's not square. Both his feet are not pointed to the basketball. He's in a drop here. And a drop, your job is hard. It's a 2v1, right? You have the guy chasing over top. But for the big, you got to be square enough when you're dropping back to the basket because you have a guard that's going full speed downhill at you. Then you have, Karl Anthony Towns rolling to the basket as well. So you got to be able to combat those two actions, right? So when he's coming off of this PNR, patient, and that little twist, not a full
a carry.
Rondo.
You mean no? You mean the carry? It's a fucking carry, bro.
No. Not a full Rondo, but a little half spin Rondo gets Baylor Shireman to freeze a little bit. Get him out of the play. No, he got Cater to freeze. Cater to freeze. Get into his body. Get low, right? So when he gets lower than him, right, it's a quick up. It's a pretty solid contest, but when he creates that little amount of space with that freeze right there,
trying to get it
gets
going.
low. Kato backs up. He gets under his knees because once again, you play basketball, you know the low man wins. Once you get low, you win leverage, right? So when he gets that low, because he's not going to go over the top of him, he doesn't have the athleticism, the height to do so. Gets low, get up,
corner and lays it in.
easy pass.
Put a copyright on that.
I think that was amazing defense by Kata. I think he did everything fine in that clip. I think he did a good job staying long, contesting vertically. Jalen Brunson was able to get the inside, inside his inside foot, but he was there on the Jalen Brunson contest. He could have damn well blocked that. And he's also, if Jalen Brunson decided to dump it off to Cat, he also could have recovered and guarded him. So that's fine. I mean it was a good contested shot.
It's
good
not
shot.
completely bad defense, but
he flipped his hips. He was moving laterally, and I feel like he cut off the lane as much as he could while also being able, because you can't fully commit in that moment, because as soon as if you fully commit and cut off that lane from Jalen Brunson, it's an easy layup. So what you want to do is just kind of play that in between game, so right up until the last moment where they have to make that decision to either score or pass, and I think he did that.
Okay, it's not completely bad defense, but this is great offense from Brunson. Right, and once again, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I tried to explain to Glore when we had conversations in our last pod about the Celtics. And what I'm pretty much afraid of is that, look, Mitchell Robinson's a pretty good screen setter, right? Sets a high ball screen, and they're running. That's what the Knicks do. A heavy PNR team with both of these corners filled with shooters, right? Whether it be OG Anunoby, whether it be McBride, Mike Brown wants space around the floor. So when he comes off this ball screen, look at Vucevic. They were killing him all night, whether it be the pull-up, whether it be getting to the rim, because Cat did it as well with the pocket passes from Brunson, using his strength to get to the rim. They were killing him in the paint on the offensive glass, Mitchell Robinson. But when you're playing a deep drop against Brunson, it's a simple pull-up. But he's been really good on pull-ups this year. Pulls up Brunson's bread and butter. And this is what I'm pretty worried about, again, for the Celtics going forward against, teams that can back this deep drop coverage. Like guys like Brunson that can pull up and shoot these type of threes. Maybe not a Kay Cunningham, who's not just a, elite pull-up three-point shooter, but Brunson, who's been there before, who's been a playoff riser, you know what I'm saying, that's been a guy that's shown the ability to do these type of things. That's what I'm scared for going forward for the Celtics, and they're going to have to try to figure those things out. As we get closer to the playoffs.
We've already figured that out. I mean, I'm sure we're going to cover. I'm sure we're going to be able to cover the Charlotte Hornets game, because that was a really good game as well. But we did that to LaMelo. When LaMelo started off really hot, he was cooking Kata in open space in the PNR and drop. And the Celtics adjusted. Joe Mazzulla, who you don't give no credit to, even though you be disrespectful as fuck.
I do.
He actually makes adjustments.
He
right?
He does.
And adjustment.
He did.
Exactly. What was the adjustment he made to them taking advantage of Kata's drop keepers?
He played them more at the level. Yes, he did do that.
Exactly. So we have and we've shown we have the centers who have enough mobility where they can play up on those ball screens and occupy the ball handler for enough time to let their defender to either cut off the passing lane for the roller, or contest, have them recover and come in and double team or steal the ball or contest a shot.
But is this consistent? Like, can they do it?
Yes, we've done this. We've done this with Kata. I mean, listen, Kata is not like he doesn't have the crazy foot speed, but for a center, he has perfect, fine foot speed. Enough to contest it and make it hard on all these guys to make a decision. Because if you try to shoot the shot, he has a 7'5" wingspan. You know what I mean? And if you decide to attack his lead foot and try to get by him, he has the ability to recover, or he has an elite gap defender, because the Celtics have plenty of great gap defenders like Jason Tatum to come help out, like Jaylen Brown, who's increased his defensive level since Jason Tatum has came back. We have the defense to counter players taking advantage of our deep coverage. Like, we've countered it multiple times. We've done it against the OKC Thunder. We've done it against the Knicks, obviously, right now. done it against the Pacers last year. A couple of years ago in the Eastern Conference Finals. Plenty of times we've been able. Teams have not been able to play on our drop coverage. We did it with Al Horford all the time.
Yeah. But also the difference between those teams and this team is that you had this switchability with an Al Horford, right? With a Kristaps
No, I'm talking about
Porzingis,
not
whatever the
only.
case may be.
I'm talking about overall. Like even this season. If we're talking about just this season, we've been able to combat teams taking advantage and we give up opportunities in the mid range, but long twos are what we concede. Like that's shots we're willing to concede and live with. If you beat us by shooting all long twos, like
I mean, no, these pull up threes don't
shout
gonna
out
be.
to
I
you.
mean, they're pull up threes, not long twos.
No, I'm saying though we do it. We're one of the best teams at guarding the 3-point shot as well. Like we're fine. Like I'm not worried at all about the Knicks being able to exploit this in the post. Not at all.
He is operating as a high level.
Right? I mean, using this quickness to
It's
get
just phenomenal.
burst right there, gone.
He is operating
Step back.
as a high level point guard.
Brunson bangs it in.
We're living with that. That's good. Oh, I mean that's good D, better O.
We're down to 4:22 to go.
What people they're not going to talk about in this game is that
Vucevic with the baby hook.
And Brunson has the ability to move off the ball. Right, as you can see,
We're down to 4:22 to go. First half, Brunson, the first shot is pure.
What happened there? I mean, 10 minutes in the game, they're -8 to the Knicks.
I call this. I actually learned this action from.
What happened there? I mean, 10 minutes in the game, they're
kind of like a hammer action, right?
-8 to the
Turned
Knicks.
into a double drag, 77. So it's kind of a mix of both.
Hey, turn on the volume of the game real quick.
Oh, I didn't even know that was on. But kind of like a double drag and a hammer action at the same time. So he's come off of it, right? Nice little pass from Cat. Now you got Walsh. He's trailing because he came off of 2 ball screens, right? And once again, this deep drop. Get underneath. Easy basket. Now this possession was worse than the first. What did you see from this one?
Now this one, I feel like he didn't recognize he didn't process that in time to catch Jalen Brunson. He let them get his shoulder inside and he just finished. That was actually a great play by Jalen Brunson. I don't think Keita but that we're willing to live with that. I mean, having Keita as a rim protector, any team that has a team player like a great rim protector usually doesn't have the best foot speed in order to be able to recover. Like you're willing to concede this even with Rudy Gobert, right? Even Victor Wembanyama. There's been plenty of players who play this deep off coverage. Wemby's special because of his ability to recover. It only takes one step for him to get inside the paint to the corner 3 line. You feel me? To the corner 3. So he's a little different. But even him, there is things you can take advantage of in his drop coverage. But we've been able to show plenty of times this season against high level teams, against OKC, against the Thunder, against the Spurs with Wemby. Plenty of teams that we can adjust if need be. But most of the time, we'll only concede these long twos. No threes, no inside, no easy shots inside. And as long as we keep it there, we're good.
Another guy that was in this game that was going crazy was Josh Hart, right? And the point of emphasis in this game from Joe Mazzulla, kind of like what he did on Sion James, but he didn't really guard him with bigs. But the difference was we're going to leave him wide open. All right, kind of like what we see the Spurs do to Christian Brown a couple of weeks. I mean, not weeks, but a couple of nights ago on Saturday against the Nuggets. Is they're going to live with something, right? And they're going to live with Josh Hart shooting wide open threes. And as you can see, right, when they run this action to the right side of the floor, once again, when I bring up Towns has been a great passer today, they get the advantage. Some split action on the right side of the floor. Get the switch. OG Anunoby has a clear look at the basket that Baylor Sham has to help to deter that shot. And then guess what? Josh Hart gets a wide open 3. Now, he might not make them all, But like I said, he shot 10 for 15 in
He
this
definitely
game.
not gonna make them all. He's definitely not.
we
He the
gonna
last
show
nigga to make them all.
this is film, so you're gonna see the makes and the misses. Right? We're running through how Josh Hart's getting his baskets and what the game plan is on him. So once again, split action, Baylor Shaman. As you can see, even advantage even pops up on the screen, right? Because they know the advantage is created for a wide open player to get a wide open shot. He might not make every one of them, right? But I mean, they're gonna live and die with Josh Hart making these type of shots. So once again, right, as you can see, it's kind of what they did against the Hornets a couple nights ago as well. Tatum playing a drive, right? So McBride can't get downhill, completely ignoring Josh Hart. Open three, and he's going to miss again. But, I mean, he's completely shooting rhythm shots throughout the course of the game, and eventually they start to go. He had 25-plus points in this game. What do you make of Josh Hart getting these open looks in this one?
Hey man, hot shooting night. But like it is what it is. Like I think that Josh Hart is one of the worst like jump shooters. They play like teams play him the same way they play off of like Asar Thompson. And I genuinely think that the Knicks offense is so much better without Josh Hart on the court. The stats back it up, the off and on numbers back that up as well. I think that tonight was a flaky fake shooting night on a random Thursday in March, and Josh Hart decided to go for it. Not only though was he hitting his open 3-point looks, he was also getting downhill, being a good cutter like he is per usual. He got out in fast break, like getting outlet passes. Just being the in between guy that we all know him to be. But like I said, we were willing to live off of that, and we had guys doubling off of him continuously, even down the stretch. But in my opinion, I think this is just hot shooting night. Nothing to be concerned about. Nothing that's going to be replicated in a postseason setting.
Okay, so would you do this going forward, right? Because once again, Tatum helping on the job, completely ignoring him, right? Completely ignoring him.
Mhm.
I mean, this is a good closeout, right? He made this one, right? He made.
No, he
that
stayed
one.
home. He stayed home until he decided to pick up the ball. He
Yeah,
stayed
I
home.
mean,
He was
I
like,
mean, it,
yo, like he was not hard closing on that. He was like, he was
he put a
soft close
hand
look.
up. He put a hand up, right? He put a hand up.
Not until he got the ball in his pocket. When he got the ball in his pocket, that's when he decided to fucking shoot. This is hot shooting. I'm not scared of this shit. Josh Hart jump shots, bro. Come on.
Once again, right? A few feet away from him, right? He's giving him a ton of space, right? Kind of ignoring him on the perimeter. Michael Bridges touching paint, and they did a great job of finding him as well. Like Sam Hauser is not good at guarding the point of attack here. Gets to the paint, draws another help defender, gets an open three, right? And like you said, you're gonna live and die with this, right? You're gonna live and die with this going forward. And like I said,
Bro,
like the guys at the point
bro,
were terrible tonight from the
I got a question. How much times do you think that he's gonna shoot 71% from three in a playoff setting?
I mean,
Wide open, same looks.
these are
He's
rhythm
not doing
shots,
that, bro.
Glore. These are rhythm shots.
Come on,
Like,
bud. He not doing this in real life, bro. Come on. Like, come on. Like, this is a random Thursday in March. He's not doing this, bro, again. But this is a guy right now in his, I don't know what year. He came in 2017.
oh,
Right now he is shooting 41%, but on 3 attempts a game, bro. I'm so good with that, bro. We know he's a fake shooter.
okay. We're gonna talk more about this play as well because Mike Brown was in this bag, right? So here you had a play here using Cat again as a passer, right? Getting Cat involved. I love how Cat got his touches today. He got his touches today, using him in a more optimal position where he could thrive, right? So kind of a give and go action, and it's gonna set a screen for on Baylor Shaman. Good patience in the pick and roll. Sam Hauser's gonna deter the grab. I mean, you would think the spacing is terrible here, right? But I think this is planned because, as you can see here, like I said earlier about Brunson, how he likes to have the corners filled. But guess what? Everybody's lifted up, right? Cat's away from the basket, Bridges away from the basket, Brunson's away from the basket, everybody's away from the basket. So therefore, that pulls Kate out the paint. Tatum has no clue what's going on because he's looking at everybody else because, like we said, he's completely ignoring Josh Hart. But as you mentioned earlier, he's doing a great job of being an opportunistic, whatever. Like he's being a great cutter, right?
Opportunistic,
so, yeah. I couldn't get the word out, but he's been a great cutter, right? So he's going to set a flare screen. Tatum tries to jump it to sniff it out, and they're going to switch that. When he switched that, he reads it. Easy dunk because Kata's like I said again, everybody's lifted, right? So Kata's being pulled out the paint, so the space is there. Gets an easy dunk. So that's great action from Mike Brown.
Great action. No, yeah, I really like how Josh Hart attacks open space though. He is good at finding spots and has been, he can catch fire here and there. But I think this season, even on the low volume that he has, he in shooting 41% from the field. This is not something that's sustainable. This reminds me a lot of Lou Dort. You remember Lou Dort last year shooting 30? What was he shooting 39% or 38%, something like that for like majority of the season? And we knew that shit wasn't sustainable. And this is not something the Knicks could live off of. And matter of fact, I think this was the difference maker in the Celtics winning and losing this game. It was Josh Hart. And I think we only lost the game by like within 10 points, under 10 points. And so literally these Josh Hart plays, his ability to be used as a cutter, as a off ball shooter in the corners. I think that really helped them and get this win out. But trust and believe, this will not happen again. This will not happen again, man. Not in the postseason. This will not happen in the postseason.
Maybe not. But I mean, Tatum with a brain dead turnover tries to force a pocket pass, right? And I mean, it was all Josh Hart in his fourth quarter. This is right after you guys seen he hit that corner three. So once again, is same action you seen earlier when him coming off of a screen to get the switch action. Because in the fourth quarter, right, when we talked about the drop coverage between Brunson and Cat, coming off those two man actions, they start to switch the ball screens, right? Because now they're putting Kata on Josh Hart, right? They start to switch. That's the adjustment that Joe Mazzulla made. But once again, right, you say you're trusting Kata in space. I'm saying I'm not. Because Brunson, later in the game, hit a pull-up three on Kata. And now Kata's trying to hedge and get back. But Brunson got right around him, and they get a layup. so
no, no, wait. The difference of what I was saying, I'm not. Kata should not be up that high on Jalen Brunson just because of the pure foot speed that Jalen Brunson possesses.
Well, I mean,
I don't think he should be that high. But I think that what he was doing against LaMelo is more what he should be doing. Maybe playing, higher in the drop. In kind of occupying the ball handler until his defender is either able to recover and double team or trap or recover to the roll man, right? And Kata's been able to shown to be doing that. Obviously, he cannot be playing that high on the ball screen on Jalen Brunson, who's three times as quick as you are.
This is kind of the game plan, though, right? Showing and recovering, right? So yeah, he Brunson. This is the great play by Brunson. Sniffing that out and being able to use his quickness to get around it. But when Josh Hart is not making his shots, right? This is what you need to be, using him as. Keep him active, right? To keeping guys from, compacting the court because he's not making the shots. But, he was making them today. But, I mean, when he's not making them this way, this is exactly how you need to use him as a screen setter, as a roller. And then you have Tatum as the low man. You can easily finish over him.
Yeah, we're living with that. You're
living with Tatum.
Everything you just Josh Hart, that everything we've seen from Josh Hart right now, I'm willing to live with in the postseason. So good with this.
And shout out Brunson because he had 10 assists in this game. And like I said, they were willing to give up this switch with Kata on Brunson. So earlier he had a pull-up three, or I think it was a pull-up mid-range, one of the two on Kata. And now he's getting whatever he wants. and this is why they can't switch. Right, they're prone to the drop coverage. Right, this is why you don't trust these guys on an island, an appeal switch, or even maybe at the level consistently, because these Vooch, even a Luka Garza, Kato, they can't guard in space, right? They just can't do it. And this is the ability in the that they had 2-3 years ago when they won the championship with Al Horford, is because he's a great versatile switch defender to be able to guard players on the island like this. He did it to Luka Doncic in the NBA Finals, but Kato just can't do that.
Again, though, here's the thing. Of course, we don't want, like, it's not a favorable matchup to have Kata on Jalen Brunson. But look what Derek White is doing right now. What is Derek White doing? He's coming to help off of and playing amazing. Coming to commit on the double team and trapping Jalen Brunson. Or we're just gapping. That's the difference in what we have going on right now with this drop coverage is, and the switching ability, is that we have amazing team defense that can help recover if Kata gets beat off the dribble, and if we take a step back three on Kata, I'm willing to on what's it called with Jalen Brunson, I'm willing to live with that. And with this guy who has a 7'4" wingspan contesting a six footer taking a step back in open space, I'm cool with that. I'm willing to live off these. But what we don't want to recede is Kata trying to play off ball and try to stay home, or be aggressive in the PNR and not switching. And now we have what's it called? Now we just leave wide open 3-point shots at the perimeter. Like, we're not doing that. Like, we can't do that.
But this time he gets to the paint, right? So now, Brunson was doing a great job of being patient. As soon as he sees Derek White leave Karl-Anthony Towns, right, there's an advantage created. He quickly gets away from it, right? Drives right, moves Kata completely out of the way. Now it's 2-on-1 to the backside because Tatum's guarding Cat now. So now you got to make a decision, right? And Brunson does a great job of looking this defender off, looking at OG Anunoby, looking him away from the basketball. Throws a no-look pass. Josh Hart open for three. He missed it, but it's still a good look, right? Because down the stretch of this game, as you can see, right, once again, they double, but Josh Hart, this is the play of the game. This is the play of the game. This was after Baylor Sharman relocated for a catching one dribble three on the left wing, and this is amazing, man. Once again, willing to give up this switch, but we're going to send a double. So now the advantage is created. Now you see Tatum is in no man's land, right? Because we got to find a man to rotate. So he's just probably going to rotate to the next man away. And Josh Hart realizes that, does a great job of sealing Pritchard down low. In another amazing pass from Brunson. Brunson was the best player on the floor today, completely, as a floor general, as a paint scorer, as a pull-up jump shooter, him being patient in the PNR. He was amazing today. Just being patient, probing. What a pass down low to Josh Hart for the easy deuce to give him back the lead. Right? It was all Josh Hart in the fourth quarter.
I completely agree. I also think that Karl-Anthony Towns was a key to this as well. I think him in the PNR, what Jalen Brunson helped him get plenty of opportunities to get downhill and take advantage of mismatches. Also, I think that the rebounding of Karl-Anthony Towns in this game. I know we give him flack and he's having a down year in terms of his scoring translation, but as a rebounder, he's still one of the best rebounders in the league, and his ability to seal off defenders, get on the offensive board. Today had 2 offensive boards today. He's really filling in that role for Mitch Johnson, who is on limited minutes this season. I think he's only averaging around 19 minutes a game. He's been doing a good job of giving them second chance points and also helping Jalen Brunson get quality looks as a pick and roll duo.
Yeah, but also, like I said, it was all Josh Hart in the fourth quarter, man. This time, I guess he wanted to go with Vucci Main down at the end of this game. Because like I said, I told you Kata was getting killed. But once again, this is a tough one. That's a tough one. Yeah, he in rhythm now. That's actually a great contest.
We living with that. Fugazi!
Yeah, you gonna live with this one, but woo!
Come on, G. Come on,
Josh
G.
Hart.
Now that nigga right there, now that nigga that right there, Vooch, that nigga was ass today. Oh my god, he was so ass.
We're gonna jump right into Tatum and duck your head, because you're gonna see a
Hating
lot
ass
of
nigga.
you
You a hating ass
you're gonna
nigga.
see a lot of bricks right now. You're gonna see a ton of bricks, man. Beware. The bricks might be thrown at your screen, but yeah, Tatum clearly getting his rhythm back. I'm clearly trolling, but me and Glore talked about off stream, right? I told him what is, and it's a real question, right? What is Tatum like great at as a scorer, right? Because I understand last year he shot 72% at the goal, but I mean he got there 4 times a game, which is pretty good. I mean it's decent, but it's not just elite, right? I wouldn't say he's an elite 3-point shooter, and he's for sure not elite mid-range shooter. So, like, if we look at the top 3 scorers in the NBA, or top 5 scorers in the NBA, or even top 7, or we're naming a Shea, an elite mid-range scorer, an elite downhill scorer, right? Talking about Anthony Edwards, elite 3-point shooter, right? Elite downhill creator. We're talking about Luka Doncic, right? Luka Doncic has pretty much a combination of the intermediate scoring, the ability to get to the free throw line, high free throw rate, also with the 3-point shot making with his 3-pointers going. I don't want to call him an elite 3-point shooter, but he's like really good. He's better than Tatum, right? I can keep naming guys, maybe like a Kevin Durant. He's an elite. He's elite off the catch, right? He's an elite pull-up jump shooter. He's an elite mid-range shooter. He's like shooting 54, 55% from the mid-range. Like, what is Tatum elite at as a scorer? And, I mean, he's not fully in rhythm, but it's kind of the same shot diet once again. The pull-up 3, cat in the drop. I mean, it's just a lot of...
Listen, Tom. What he is elite at is, I think he's a better off-ball player than he is an on-ball player. And
why? How?
Because he's an amazing catch and shoot artist. He's great at carrying momentum, breaking down defenses, going downhill. You know what I mean? Like that is his superpower. He has plenty of traits that, because they're not SGA or Jokic level top, does not mean that he doesn't have great attributes or things that he doesn't do it at elite level.
What is he
If you're saying, hold on, if you're saying he's not all time, that is different. But he is 100% elite. Like I don't know.
At what?
At scoring, he's an elite scorer, 100%. He's an elite scorer. He's an elite rebounder. He's what's it called? He's a elite help side defender. Like he has all these things after his position. He's 100% elite at almost every category we could think of. This is the most complete player in the league. Like, what are we talking about?
So breaking down a film here, right? And he's clearly not in rhythm. We know that, but we've seen this plenty of times before. Not a ton of separation created. He's settling for a tough step back 3, and that's not going in, right? And it's been the shot diet for years. It'd be different. Now, I'm not mad at the shot. I'm not mad at the shot at all. In rhythm, Jalen Brunson and a pump to a pull-up, right? I'm not mad at that shot, right? Like, if you're getting those, you're just not making them. Like, those are going to eventually go down. But shots like this is what makes me kind of mad. Like, this right here, I mean, it's not too...
Listen, we talked about it. We talked about this, so I'm not going to go into too much depth, but we talked about this already, right? Tatum, the reason why he has never been really in conversations to be the best player in the world, top 3 conversations, is because of this right here, right? He has the mismatch, and he does this later on. I think you have the clip where he does this with Jalen Brunson as well. And he did this last year before he got injured in the Knicks series, where he has a mismatch either on the big man that he has foot speed over, right, to get downhill, or to get elite, a high level separation, or he gets a mismatch on a smaller 6-foot guard who is literally one of the worst defenders in the league. Trae Young. He's not worse than Trae Young. I don't think Jalen Brunson is worse than Trae Young, but he's one of the worst defenders in the league, right? And in both those situations, you decided take a step back fucking three, bro. Like, why aren't you attacking your mismatches? Why aren't you looking for more like versatility with your scoring? Because you are a good 3-level scorer, and you are elite within the arc, especially in the playoffs. Get downhill, get more paint touches, get more high what's it called, elbow touches. And don't tell me it's just Joe Mazzulla, because I know you're gonna try to pin this on Joe Mazzulla, bro. His best year was in 2023, and that is when he attacked the rim at his career high, right? So that shows us when Tatum is going downhill and prioritizing, getting paint touches, getting his feet in the paint, he becomes a better shooter because he's getting more quality looks from three. Because let's be honest, he doesn't have the greatest separation in the league, right? But if his ability to get downhill and get past defenders is a threat, that makes him less predictable, right?
For
Because
sure.
a lot of these defenders already know that Jason Tatum is a primarily jump shot. Like, you know what I mean? So they're already preparing for this guy to take that step back three before he even gets to his spot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the issue.
Yeah, and like going back to plays like this, like I mean, I don't know if this is a
That's a
rhythm
fine
thing.
shot, bro. That's a fine
No,
floor.
no. I don't know if this is a rhythm thing or just going off the last play as well with Mitchell Robinson. It's like, okay, good screen by Vucevic. It's 1-on-1 with Cat going downhill. Cat's not a good defender. He wasn't good in this game either. I mean, kind of bump him. Towns walls him up and forces him into an awkward shot fading to his right? And I mean, this is a very hard shot to make right there. That's a super hard shot. And obviously, I don't. Maybe he's gonna get that brute strength back. Like you said, from 20. Like I feel like the game should be you open up the three ball from your drive, right? And that's probably why the best scoring year of his career is 2023 because he had the most downhill pressure. So you're going to open up the rest of your game, but it all starts with the drive. The reason why people are scared of a guy like Anthony Edwards is because they're scared of the drive, the downhill ability. And now that he's been able to shoot the three, it opens the floor completely up for his game. The reason why Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is so cold at scoring the basketball, so great at scoring the basketball, is because he has the ability to get downhill as a driver, the ability to get to the free throw line, right? And you got to have one of those, either a high free throw rate or you got to be a very good downhill driver, right? Or you have to be Steph Curry.
Tatum has both. Tatum. Curry doesn't get to the line because the refs hate his ass, but Tatum gets to the line. He does an amazing job, and he's not a foul baiter. Tatum is not a foul baiter either. Tatum doesn't get nearly enough credit for not really looking for these type of calls. Most of the time where Tatum is at the line, he's legitimately getting fouled. Like he's not trying to bait and have this gray area type of fouls where he's leaning into his defender trying to play shot. But in terms of his ability to get downhill, it's been great. Like his ability, his first step is really good, right? He has amazing counters. He has a spin move that he can get to that he really likes. He has a touch around the rim. Like he has an under the basket game. Like all these things should lean to him taking more shots within the arc. Make the 3-point shot just the cherry on the top. Don't make it the actual cake. That's what's wrong with Tatum. He doesn't use his frame enough. He doesn't use his athletic ability enough. And now that he's actually torn his Achilles, and this might be, where in his career he might lose a step or two, right? Not enough to affect his game fully, but like he might not have the same quick first step that he used to have to create separation. This is when you want to develop the post game the most. And I feel like he will always be a great player because of, like I said, he's the most complete player in basketball. I stand by that. He's one of the most complete players in NBA history. And anybody who disagrees doesn't watch Celtics basketball, right? But in terms of his ability to raise his ceiling as a player, this is why he will never be in SGA, Luka, Jokic, Giannis conversations. this right here, and I hate it. And I hate it because I genuinely think that he can be in those conversations, not better than those guys, but he deserves to be in those conversations with those guys, right? Because
So
based off just ability.
yeah, and they're gonna run some stack pick and roll here, right? Stack, which meaning, right?
Let's make this the last one, brother.
Stack meaning, the Sam Hauser is gonna kind of come set a screen on Carly Towns. I want him to drive this ball, right?
That's what I'm saying, bro.
You can see Carly Towns completely out of place. His feet are completely off. He's not square, right? As if you drive this ball left or if you snake it right, OG Anunoby, if you snake it, OG Anunoby can maybe get back into play. But if you drive this ball hard left right, I think that you get a layup. But settles for a pull up three, and it's pretty much the story of Tatum in his career. And like you said, they're gonna do it again. Joe Mazzulla loves to run some stack pick and roll. So once again, a ball screen into Sam Hauser kind of screening the roller, and like I told you, like the play that we just explained, right? For him to do it earlier than the play before, he did it here, and it ended up in a layup, right? Counting counts.
He had a floater. He had a floater on Mitchell Robinson as well. The same thing.
Gets underneath.
Same area. And one.
Cat got chipped by this screen by Sam Hauser. Gets underneath. Gets a basket. This video, we just wanted to go over a little film with you guys, explain what Tatum could do better going down the stretch of this regular season, over the stretch of this playoff year. Because one thing I do want to see Tatum have a great playoff season. The way that he's came back off this Achilles injury. Maybe it's the mid-post game that Glore said. Brunson, maybe he's getting to a playoff groove. We know he's a playoff riser. Getting to his pull-ups, getting to his paint touches. He's been passing the ball really well this year, which has been sneaky, and nobody's really been talking about it. So Josh Hart, that's a thing looking forward in the matchup, versatility that he brings with the New York Knicks, and because if he's making his shots, we're looking at a completely whole different ball game between the Celtics and the Knicks, because that's going to allow the Knicks to have an even more high-powered offense, because you can't completely ignore a player off of the floor. So we just wanted to break those down. Those are some things that you have to be looking forward to in a potential matchup in the playoffs between the 2 and 3 seed, because I think that's what's going to end up as. And if the Knicks get out the first round, they might have the Hawks or the Sixers or the Orlando. It could. You don't know what's going to shake out. In
barbecue
the East
chicken
with the
collard
Knicks,
greens,
but the Celtics
mac and
might
cheese.
have the Hornets round one, like we said. So if they handle business round one, then we'll see these two teams play in the playoffs once again for the second year in a row. And hopefully Tatum stays healthy. Hopefully Brown stays healthy. And we'll be there to break it down all once again, right? Game 1, Game 2, Game 3. The differences, because a lot of people don't see the game within the game. A lot of people don't see what Joe Mazzulla is really actually doing. A lot of people don't see what Mike Brown is actually doing. They don't know what a stacked pick and roll is. They don't know what a double drag is. They don't know what that is. So we're here to explain it all. We're going to break it down, and we'll be posting this video and also another video coming soon. Let me know and Glore know what teams you want to see in the future. We'll continue to break those down. But appreciate all of y'all. Love to all of y'all. We'll see you guys soon.